How many of you ride motorcycles, by the way, or have been on something too? It's usually like 2 or 3 people out of 100. So it's not a massive demographic, but lightweight mobility or two-wheelers is the largest form of transportation in the world. Not in America, but in Asia. In the United States, people ride motorcycles mainly because it's kind of a lifestyle thing. In Asia, it's more a necessity. But as I mentioned, our approach is to begin in the premium luxury space and basically build the most beautiful machines that we possibly can. But I'll give you a little bit of different features that we worked on the bike that makes it stand out from traditional motorcycles. So my background is in product development technology, and then I spent most of my weekends in a dusty garage in Brooklyn building vintage motorcycles from the 60s, 70s, primarily Triumphs, BSAs. And the idea was basically to sort of implement some of the principles that people used in automotive design in the 60s, meaning that things were usually built to be repaired. Today, most of the products that are created are built to be replaced, fueling mountains of waste, and we're not really thinking in terms of upgradability. So one of our sort of cornerstones is how do we build machines that evolve with the pace of technology? So meaning, how do we build them on a modular platform that you can keep upgrading the battery performance, the motor, as well as the aesthetics, which is the exterior components of the bike. Another component is obviously intelligence. So how do we capture as many data points as possible from the bike? So the bikes have a 4G chip where we communicate with the cloud and basically collect as much of sensor data as possible. And thirdly, ecology. So how do we pay attention to where materials come from, starting from sort of mining earth and gaining a more deeper understanding of the elements and the minerals and what's the stuff that goes into the creation of a product, and how do we become more mindful on what happens to them end of life. So I try to really implement a lot of sustainability practices, biomaterials, biodegradable materials, and try to fuse all of these concepts into the bike that's over there. Another part of it is sound. So electrical vehicles are typically very quiet. You don't hear them, and specifically for a motorcycle, we felt it's really important to engineer a sound that gives you sort of a visceral experience. So what we did is converted the bike into an instrument and extracted the sound of the motor, very similar to how an electric guitar works. So basically amplify the harmonics from the electrical motor and using an acoustic resonator, sort of make it sound like the sound of the future. And we work with a couple of Swedish composers, and we're sampling sounds from Blade Runner, Star Wars, TIE Fighter, and so on. And we're kind of designing what's the sound of the future. So I'll rev it a little bit later off stage if you guys want to hear it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So we're building them in Brooklyn, New York right now. So this is sort of a custom-made luxury item, and our whole purpose is to get into volume production for this year and then introduce other cool products like an electric jet ski that we recently toyed as a concept, electric snowmobiles, drones, and whatever is going to allow us to just have fun, not ride in the back of Ubers, and experience a cool way of moving. Thanks so much.